So everybody, this is another quick debate video. Should Antony be leaving Manchester United now? There's been huge problem with his performances over the past few weeks for Manchester United. They haven't been good enough, and he probably knows that, and we've seen that more than ever. Manchester United spent loads of money on him, up to I think £100 million to sign the player, and his performances have been nowhere near good enough. The effort, the passion, yes, that's definitely there, but the technical ability and the skill is nowhere near good enough. Yes, he tracks back, but the output's not there. You look at other wingers in the league, and just other wingers in general, doing so much better than he does. You look at top players, you look at Manchester City, they've got Doku on that side, Bernardo Silva, Foden, who can play. They're world-class players. You look at Chelsea, yes, they're inconsistent, but they've got world-class players on their side. I think Madueke is a top player. Look at even Michael Elise. He's a fantastic player. There's world-class wingers there, and if you compare them to Antony, they're nowhere near good enough. Antony's performances have not been great. I don't think he managed like one goal or an assist in like 43 games or something like that. So he's not been good enough. And on that right hand side, we did invest a load into him, and Erik ten Hag has got to prove that right. I mean, Erik ten Hag has persisted that he's good enough to start for Manchester United and good enough to be a top player. But obviously the issue that went on outside of the pitch, he has struggled to find confidence. But you know, especially in that Nottingham Forest game, I think that was one of his worst games. You look at Ahmad, who's a player who's come on that right hand side for Manchester United in the game against Forest, and you already see the contracts, keeping it quick, silky, one touch and move, pass and move, just the simple basic stuff that you would expect of a player. And with Antony, yes, we want him to do all the flicks and tricks and score goals, but you got to start somewhere. He's not even doing the basics correctly. Passes going out of play, not even just not being good enough, and that's something Erik ten Hag must get right, because he's a big Erik ten Hag player. So yeah, that's a huge concern with Antony. As I said, we signed him for 100 million. You won't get anywhere near that for him now, and you will struggle, as I said, to find anything near that price tag to get him in. But what Manchester United decide to do will be fairly interesting, because Erik ten Hag is already getting criticism for that transfer. I mean, he was valued at 25 million at the start of the window, and that's something with a player. A price tag is not their fault, but it does hold them down massively. You look at Grealish, he's a player who had difficulty in his first season but started it going in the second. With Antony, we're kind of midway through the second season now, and he's not even doing anything spectacular. So we have given him time to adapt. It's not like we've just made him see 3 games and then we're already onto him, but his performances have not been good enough, and they have not been to a Manchester United standard recently. And this is not me digging out Antony. There's been many other players' performances and players who have not been good enough this season. But with Antony, he's a player with a huge price tag who's come in and hasn't got many goals and assists at all. He plays well defensively, and he does get stuck in and physical. But the other aspect of the game, which we paid 100 million for, is not been nowhere near good enough. So that's something we need to improve on. And yeah, it's been a bit abysmal season for him. I was just doing this video just based on that Forest game. I seen him get a lot of criticism, so I thought it was right to talk about it. But yeah, he's not been good enough, and that's something that we need to improve on, because we have got a decent left winger in Garnacho and Rashford. Our right hand side is looking a bit shallow. With Amad Diallo, a very young player, Sancho looking on his way out. Antony's our only right winger who's a natural right winger. We know Rashford can play out there, but he's more of a left-sided player. So we have to improve on that. Whether you sell Antony, I don't think you will, because Manchester United will not. Whether Ineos actually decide to sell him, it'd be interesting to see, because you probably won't get anything near 100 million back for the player. Probably get maximum 30, and that's probably what he's worth. As I don't think I mentioned it, Manchester United valued him at 25 million when they first went to sign him, and then at the end of the window we ended up paying 100 million pounds. So it does show Manchester United's poor recruitment strategy. I mean, if we spent maybe 25 million pounds on him, I don't think anyone would have been talking about the bad signing that he's been. They would have given him time to adapt. So the price tag does have a massive effect on the player. But yeah, it's down to Antony now to kick on, improve, and see what I can do, because his stats have not been good this season. We play Wigan obviously tomorrow, so let's see if they start that game, and if he does, see if he can score a goal. We just want to see development. There was a huge development stage or progression in that game against Chelsea where he played really, really well, and then after that he's just been really poor. So we just, with progression, you want to have a good game and then keep working on it.